Today we're doing lesson 6-2 on substitution. We're on page 323 in our books and I need you to take notes. So solving systems of equations by substitution. One of the methods, or substitution in explanation, would be we're going to solve one of the equations for one variable. Sometimes it's done for you. Then we're going to use the expression that's left from this and plug it into the other equation and solve for the variable that's there. And then when we get an answer, we're going to plug it back into the equation we used in step 1. Let's show you as an example. Example 1. Here we see that our second equation is already solved for y. Y is already by itself. So we're going to take this expression and we're going to plug it in for y in the first equation. So here we go. We're going to go 3x minus, I'm plugging this in for y, so I'm going to put this in parentheses, 4x plus 11. And then I'm going to finish it off with equals -7. This is like having a -1 here, so I actually am having to distribute. So I've got -1 times 4x is -4x. -1 times 11 is -11. And I'm going to bring everything else down that I haven't used yet. Now I can combine like terms. 3 minus 4x is -x. Minus 11 equals -7. I need to get the x by itself, so I'm going to add 11 to both sides. I now have -x equals -7 plus 11 is 4. I can't leave myself with a negative variable, so I need to multiply in the entire equation by -1. -1 times -x is +x, and -1 times 4 is -4. So now I have -4 for x, and I'm going to go plug that into the other equation to find y. It really doesn't matter which one that you plug it into. In this case, this one is easier because y is already by itself. So here I'm going to plug -4 in for x. So I have y equals 4 times -4 plus 11. 4 times -4 is -16 plus 11. And then -16 plus 11 is -5. So y equals -5. Remember, this is an ordered pair because the solution to a system of equations is an ordered pair. So my x value is -4 and my y value is -5. That was example 1. You're going to now try on your own with the check. Pause and go try the check. So for part A, it's asking which expression could be substituted for y in the first equation to find the value of x. Well, we already see that y tells us right here that it is 2x plus 2. So for part A, we're going to say it's C because we're going to use 2x plus 2 and plug that in for y in the first equation. So now we're going to do the work. I've got 3x minus 2 times 2x plus 2 equals -17. Let's distribute. -2 times 2x is -4x. -2 times +2 is -4. And now I'm going to bring everything else down. Combine some like terms. I've got 3 minus 4x is -x. Bring everything else down. I'm going to add 4 to get x by itself. So I have -x equals -13. I cannot have a negative variable, so again I'm going to multiply everything by -1. So I have a +x and a +13. Now right away, because I know that I have this, I can get rid of A and B because they have a -13 for x, and my x is going to be a +13. So now I have to take this x and I have to plug it into one of the equations to solve for y. The second one is easier, in my opinion, because y is already by itself. So y equals 2 times, we say x is 13, plus 2. 2 times 13 is 26. And 26 plus 2 is 28. So y equals 28. So if x equals 13, y equals a positive 28, my answer for this check is going to be D. And this is my ordered pair. Next up, I'm going to go to example 2. Now we're going to solve and then substitute. So they didn't do the easy part for me. I have to get one of the variables by itself. There is one that is easier to get a variable by itself, and I'm looking at this x right here. This x is all by itself. There's no number in front of it, no coefficient. So I'm going to solve for x and get x by itself. So here I'm going to use this. I'm going to go minus 4y on both sides. So now I have x equals, remember those cannot go together because they're not like terms. So x equals negative 4y plus 18. Now I have this expression to substitute in for one of the other equations. Now, I solved for x on this one, so I have to plug it in to the other one. So I have 5 times negative 4y plus 18 minus 3y equals negative 25. I need to distribute. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20y. 5 times negative 18, times positive 18 is 90. And now I'm going to bring down my negative 3y equals negative 25. I'm going to combine some like terms. I have negative 20y minus 3y. That means I'm going to have negative 23y plus 90 equals negative 25. Now I'm going to get y by itself. So I'm going to end up subtracting that 90. So minus 90 minus 90. So I have negative 23y equals negative 25 minus 90 is going to be at negative 115. Here I'm going to divide by that negative 23, divide by the negative 23. So I end up with y equals negative 115 divided by negative 23 is going to be 5. So my y equals 5. So right now I know my solution for y is 5. Now I'm going to take my y equals 5 and I'm going to plug it into one of these original equations. I think the bottom one is easier because there's only coefficients on one of them. So I'm going to go x plus 4 times 5 equals 18. 4 times 5 is 20. Bring down everything else. I'm going to subtract 20. Subtract 20. Now I have x equals negative 2. So my x value is negative 2. And there I have my ordered pair as my solution. From example 2, you have a check. You're going to pause the video and try your check. This is very similar to example 3 in where I'm going to use the second one because x is by itself and does not have a coefficient. So I'm going to go x plus 2y equals negative 13. I'm going to get x by itself, so I'm going to subtract 2y. Subtract 2y. X equals negative 2y minus 13. This is what I'm going to go substitute into the second equation for x. So now I have 5 times negative 2y minus 13 plus 3y equals 5. So 5 times negative 2 is negative 10y. 5 times negative 13 is negative 65. and then I have plus 3y equals 5. Here I'm going to combine like terms. Negative 10 plus 3 is going to be negative 7y minus 65 equals 5. Now I'm trying to get y by itself, so I'm going to go plus 65 plus 65. Now I have negative 7y equals 70. I'm going to divide by negative 7, divide by negative 7. So y equals negative 10. So here I have y equals negative 10. So part of my solution is going to be negative 10. But now I need to plug this into one of these two equations to find x. I'm going to use the bottom one. So I have x plus 2 times negative 10 equals negative 13. 2 times negative 10 is negative 20 equals negative 13. Bring down my x. I'm going to add 20. So x equals negative 13 plus 20 is 7. So my x value is 7, and there is the ordered pair as my solution for example 2, or for check number 2. Now we're going to move on to example 3. We're going to use substitution when there are no or many solutions. So let's see how this works for us. Here we have y is solved for us already. So that means we're going to substitute this in, so negative 2x minus 4 for y in the first equation. So we're putting it right there. So here I'm going to go for x plus 2 times negative 2x minus 4 equals negative 8. Distribute. 2 times negative 2x is negative 4x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Bring down what I didn't use. Combine like terms. I have 4x minus 4x. Well, that's 0. That cancels out. So I'm left with negative 8 equals negative 8. So the equation negative 8 equals negative 8 is an identity. This means there are an infinite number of solutions. I can't spell infinite, guys. Good thing I'm a math teacher. Infinite number of solutions. So when graphed, these equations are going to be, remember from the last lesson, they're going to be the same line. Okay, go try the check for example number 3. Pause the video and try it on your own. Here we have y by itself, so I'm going to be plugging this in for y right there. So I have negative x plus 2 times 1/2 x plus 1 equals 2. Distribute. 2 times 1/2 is 1, so I'm just going to write x. 2 times 1 is 2. Equals 2, and then I've got negative x. So I've got negative x. No, maybe I didn't. Negative x plus x. This, again, cancels out because negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So I've got 2 equals 2. So here I have where this has already shown me that it has an infinite number of solutions. So the answer to this check is D. Moving on to example 4. Yes, it's my daily word problem. So a town ordinance defines an adult tree as having a diameter greater than 10 inches and a sapling as having a diameter less than 10 inches. The ordinance requires that on a new building project, 2 new trees are planted for each adult tree felled and 6 new trees are planted for each sapling felled. Last year there were 167 trees felled and the community planted 742 replacement trees. This question wants to know how many of each type of tree were felled. So we're going to let A equal adult trees felled and T equals saplings felled. We're going to write two linear equations to represent the situation. Well, they're walking us through this one. I'm going to try to get closer so that it's a little easier to see. They're walking us through this one. So first we have the number of adult trees plus the number of saplings is going to equal the 167 trees that they felled last year. Okay? And then we know that it says for 2 new trees are planted for each adult tree. So we've got 2 times the adult trees. And we know that 6 new trees are planted for each sapling felled. So that's 6 times the saplings. We know that all in all, they planted 742 replacement trees, so that's how we got this second equation. So this first equation is a lot easier to solve for variables because neither of them have coefficients. So we're going to solve this first one for A. We're going to go minus t. So A equals 167 minus t. So I'm going to take this 167 minus t, and I'm going to plug it in for A in the other equation. So I'm plugging that in for A. So I've got 2 times 167 minus t plus 6t equals 742. I'm going to try to get back where you can see all the math. So I'm going to go 2 times 167, need my calculator for that one. 167 times 2 is 334. 2 times negative t is going to be negative 2t. Then I've got plus 6t equals 742. Combine some like terms. Negative 2 plus 6 is going to be 4t. Bring down everything else. I'm going to subtract this 334 minus 334. So now I have 4t equals, need my calculator again, 742 minus 334 is 408. Getting into my words here. I'm going to divide by 4 in order to get everything by itself, to get t by itself. So t equals 408 divided by 4 is 102. So I know t equals 102. So I'm going to come back here. A plus 102 equals 167. Subtract my 102, subtract my 102. A equals 167 minus 102 is 65. So we have them in order of my 65 adult trees and my 102 saplings. I'm doing it in that order because that's the order that they gave them to us, and we generally like to do alphabetical order, X, Y. So that knows we were 65 adult trees and 102 saplings felled. Okay, you have your last check. Talking about Kimani and her equal-sized pitchers. Go ahead and try this one on your own. If you get stuck while you're trying, go ahead and unpause the video and follow along. So Kimani has 2 equal-sized large pitchers and 2 equal-sized small pitchers. All of the pitchers together hold 40 cups of water. The capacity of one large pitcher minus the capacity of one small pitcher is 12 cups. How many cups can each type of pitcher hold? So I need to look. She has 2 large pitchers, so I'm going to go 2L. And she has 2 small pitchers, so I'm going to do 2S. All of them together hold 40 cups, so that equals 40. So there's our first one. We now have to find the second equation. So the capacity of one large pitcher minus the capacity of one small pitcher equals 12 cups. So here's my 2 equations. I can look here and see it's really easy to solve for this one. So I'm going to go L minus S equals 12. I'm going to add S, L equals 12 plus s. I'm going to take this 12 plus s and I'm going to plug it in over here for L. So 2 times 12 plus s plus 2s. I'm just realizing that my s's kind of look like my 5s. Those are s's. Equals 40. So 2 times 12 is 24. 2 times s is 2s. I'll make the s's smaller. Plus 2s equals 40. 2s plus 2s is 4s. Bring down what I didn't use yet. I'm going to subtract the 24 because I'm trying to get s by itself. So 4s equals 40 minus 24, 16. I'm going to divide by 4, so s equals 16 divided by 4 is 4. Hopefully you're following along with your calculator if you needed it. So now I have my s, and I can plug it in to find my L. So last step, I'm going to go L minus 4 equals 12. I'm going to add 4. Add 4. L equals 16. So my large is 16 and my small is 4. Well, we can do that here. My small holds 4 cups and my large holds 16 cups. And there we go. That is the end of lesson 6-2.